Hi, I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net, and over here is Sketchy Rob, Sketchcraft, and
Sketchcraft still digesting dinner.
I woke up today after a good Thanksgiving and was like, "Hey," he's like, "Are we gonna do a show?" And I was just like, "Nah, I'm gonna stay in bed." And then I went to sleep, and then I woke up, and then I had some coffee, and I said, "Oh, I feel like doing a show now." What are you doing,
Literally
Rob?
20 minutes later.
It was 20 minutes.
That was what was funny about it. I'm like, the minute you had photos, I'm like, he's gonna want to do a show. Like, I know it. So I just started warming up the coffee ahead of time. So yesterday I was thinking to myself about Matthew Berry playing Dash Rendar. Like, he needs IG 69. Like, Matt Berry's Dash Rendar needs IG 69. I'm definitely screwing that robot. Like, we were wondering what Lando was doing in that Solo movie with his robot, but Matt Berry's Dash Rendar is 100% top and bottom. Like, I can't wait.
Night before last, I saw a few of you guys tuned in. So the streaming service that we use is called Melon, and Melon's like, hey, we have this new feature where you can stream a video that you've already pre-recorded. And I was like, oh, cool. So what I did was I finally got around to playing the VR content from the, what's it called? Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. It's called Last Call. And there's an IG.
It's got a really dumb name.
Yeah, it's for SEO especially, honestly.
People ask you what it was this. You're like, I didn't mean the name. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, I abbreviated it to Last Call in the thing, but on the featured image I put it, but people didn't notice. So, anyways, yeah. So I played the IG-88 mission, and that's canon. Not that it's like important canon, but it does reiterate some things that some of you might have missed in other books and the guides and stuff. That like IG-88's EU backstory is essentially intact. But I played through it, and I had a good time just asking, what is love over and over again, because what else are you going to do when you put a robot? I also was Johnny 5 at one point. Figured that'd make somebody mad. But
we should get DeBarge playing while you're doing it too.
Yeah. What is love? But I recorded the other parts. I recorded some of the other parts, like the Doc Ondar missions, playing under the pseudonym. In case you don't know, it's me. The VR Space Adventures of Dr. Dober Clitter Kicker is my name. And I recorded
whatever happened to Quirk Spunk Master.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Spunk Walker. What?
There's a twist.
Oh, okay. It's Ray Spunk Walker. My bad. It's worth.
But anyways, Melon just displayed a black screen when it came time to show it, so I quickly stopped the stream and then re-uploaded it. So if you got caught in that mess, sorry. Well, I tried it didn't work. But yeah, and then on Thursday, which was Thanksgiving, we had all the Empire magazine stuff avalanche on us. And we're like, well, what are we gonna do? We're gonna do Thanksgiving with the family or go cover Star Wars?
Cooking.
Yeah, he's cooking.
Yeah. And Jason could do whatever, but he was like, eh.
Yeah. No, I cooked some stuff yesterday. But
okay. All right.
Mark says, I think in one of those really old books, IGD uploaded to the Death Star and essentially became the Death Star. Remember that? Yeah, I think it was
snap, I do.
Death Star 2. It was Death Star 2.
I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, I on my old podcast that was a go-to. Let's make fun of that for what Disney can possibly mess up again.
I'm amazed at what I've managed to willfully forget after Episode 3 came out when I was fed up with Star Wars. Yeah. But yet it's still up there.
It's still in there. I
don't know how to access it, but it's there. I hate that.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. But yeah. So really quickly, just before I forget, the Empire magazine stuff.
Okay.
Oh, and once again, that was the VR Space Adventures of Dr. Dober Clitter Kicker. So wait for it.
Spelled with a Q though, so just to really fuck with our audience. Does this Empire, before we start, does the Empire magazine thing just prove furthermore that Entertainment Weekly passed on Boba Fett? Like, And if it really did, isn't that crazy that Entertainment Weekly would pass on a Boba Fett anything? Like have we turned a leaf there? Like
they don't run at the same time. They used to run back to back on a film, anyways. And their main boy at EW left, so there's a chance that maybe they just said, screw EW, we're gonna go somewhere else, or just not deal with them anymore because their point of contact left, more or less. So that could be the case. But anyways, the Empire magazine lays out the directors for the Book of Boba, and it mentions Robert Rodriguez, of course, and he's doing multiple episodes. And earlier on, this isn't a scoop, I'm not trying to latch on or anything like that, but I think Robert Rodriguez is like doing 3 and Filoni might be doing 2. I was under the impression that Filoni had 2 episodes in this, but for what is
I was under the impression that he was directing the whole thing initially, and they got the cinematographer from Beverly Hills Cop. What was it? Was it Beverly Hills Cop? Right? It was the dude from Back to the Future, right? They got the cinematographer from Back to the Future.
Only for an episode or 2.
But when they first announced it, that's how it sounded to me, like it was going to be the whole thing. And then later on,
you think Dean Kundi?
Yeah. And then later on, the cinematographer from it's dumb when I say Clerks, but he's done a lot more since then.
Let's just go with Clerks, though.
But it is great, right? Yeah. So was coming on board, and then this is the first I heard that Rodriguez wasn't directing all the episodes, actually. So somehow I missed that.
Yeah, we weren't. We didn't have it confirmed that anyone else was directing for a long time. But anyways, yeah. So we have Dave Filoni, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Bryce Dallas Howard was the Bespin Bulletin scoop, by the way. And then Steph Green. And I looked up Steph Green on IMDb, and it says that she has directed top TV shows such as The Americans, The Deuce, Man in the High Castle, American Crime, Bates Motel, You're the Worst, Billions, Preacher, Luke Cage, and Scandal.
Which episode of Man in the High Castle?
That
first
one.
Season?
That one with the Boba Fett guy. I never saw that. We went on to direct and executive produce the pilot of USA's Dare Me, as well as direct and executive produce Showtime's The L Word Generation Q. Most recently, Green was nominated for 2020 for Outstanding Directing Limited Series for The Watchmen, which I know you're a fan of too.
Big fan. Yeah, these are all very qualified credentials. What I want, though, is someone to be announced, and then we look them up, and their credentials say shot 77 episodes of Double Dare. And you're like, wow, now they're getting their shot.
The fun fact is was Mark Summers' nephew.
Steven?
Stevie Summers.
Yeah. Steven. See, he got to put like an H in there just so you know it's not Summers, right?
And then this other dude, Kevin Takarin. I'm sorry, dude. Your name sounds like a Star Wars character that I can't pronounce. But he's number 1 is The Flash, DC Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, Titans, A Million Little Things, Prison Break, Arrow, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Warrior, Iron Fist, 12 Monkeys, Tell Me a Story, Inhumans, Maelstrom, Midnight Texas, Star. It goes all the way down and end with Fame, with the remake of Fame.
Oh, the original, very depressing.
Mortal Kombat Rebirth, the 2010 video.
All right, well, they're getting their shot. I mean, hey, that's a working resume right there. Iron Fist is a little bit of a bummer, not on their part, just when that whole story about how the New York side of things, the Jeff Loeb side of Marvel TV, cut the budget out.
Yeah,
they're like, yeah, we're gonna do this on the cheap, and you're like, no one will notice. I got 1 minute 3 seconds into the show before I'm like, I'm done. It might be the fastest I've ever passed on. He did this karate kick to open the garage door or the elevator, and I'm like, yeah, I'm out. I can't even attempt to watch this.
Right.
It's so bad, but that's not their fault. That's just
those shows like Flash and Arrow and all that. I had these moments of watching them when I was really into it and really loved it. And then for some reason I can't explain, there was this moment where if I put it back on, I was going to feel viscerally sick. And I just could never do it. It's really weird. Somehow they just cashed their check with me.
everyone was talking about how great it was. I'm like, I don't want to watch this. So I put on the first season of Arrow, and I'm like, all right, okay. Oh, now we're hanging out at a Belly Burger, having like, what is this? Someone put like they ever since Buffy, they're like, we have to have a bronze in the show. We have to have a bronze, and they hung out at a Burger King after they murdered people and had burgers. Him and the Huntress, literally in an episode, and I was like, I don't know what this show's doing. So there's some great. I'm gonna say great acting, but
the Max Peach Pit. Come on,
yeah, there was some.
And Saved by the Bell laid out why you do it.
Right, but Beverly Hills 90210 didn't have genre. If they were killing things, and that was
the genre. They killed Dylan's dad with a bomb.
Wow, you remember that? Like,
hey, yeah, it's my dad's gun. Want to play with it?
His dad should have been Kirk Douglas, though, with how old Luke Perry was. But Luke Perry is the crossover into Buffy, so you got me there. You know.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I forgot about the movie, right?
Yeah. Sorry to say, but anyway, so interesting some new voices, right?
Yeah,
some people we haven't heard from before. So
yeah, I think the Boba Fett sort of brand, if you will, sounds like those directors will fit in fine with that. You know, he is sort of an actiony superhero-y kind of more than most of the characters we've had before.
Well, any of these directors who premiered, like eventually it's got to happen, right? Who premiered in the Disney Plus side of things, you think they'll ever branch into the theatrically released Star Wars side? Like, Taika doesn't count because he already had a movie before, you know. Like,
Taika's an off. He's marches to the
Taika and Favreau don't count. I'm talking about they debuted there.
Yeah, I could definitely see Deborah Chow becoming a prominent Star Wars director for them if she doesn't burn out. I have no idea what level of I just like Dave Filoni. That dude just loves Star Wars, and that's why he doesn't like leave. You know what I mean? He doesn't.
I know. I know.
I love it.
But they've changed my name twice on the door. I just come back.
No, I said Dave Filoni. You're Dave Chiloni. That's the Dave
Filoni. Yeah. That explains.
But I wouldn't have expected that in the big picture. Like when you get down to like the artistic temperament, you're like, oh, you kind of want to do different things at times. Like I'm surprised Dave Filoni. I had heard a rumor that Dave Filoni was talking to them about that Star Trek show a while ago. I don't think he has anything to do with it now, but maybe he consulted or something. I don't know. But it sounded like he was going to do a couple episodes of a Star Trek show for a while. But it's just like you would think after all of the stuff, you would want to like do something else a little bit. But I guess maybe he was working towards that live action, pie in the sky. And then now that he's there, he's like, okay.
I was going to do Deep Space 60 now. They wouldn't let me. I said it'd be perfect for streaming, but they was like, nope.
He's all Deeper Space Nine. And it's Filoni on the cover with 9 girls. 8 girls. No, I'm the 9.
But I'm the only green one though. They all not green. I'm green in the Star Trek universe.
Touch me up. Put some paints on me. But yeah.
I have a hollow dick, but it can just turn into anything.
Like, a hollow dick.
It could turn into the Enterprise. Like it's crazy. But it's a hollow. It's not real. It just looks it.
No, I could see Deborah Chow doing film and using this to get into like blockbuster filmmaking more than just television. And
she didn't have a movie before this. It was just television, right?
As far as I could recall, yeah. As far as I could recall, it was like really quality TV stuff.
Okay.
And one of the, when you like lay it down artistically, I think it's probably a lot more rewarding to stick in TV. Like even like you're seeing like bigger directors who use like in the gangster films genre are like, no, let's not do feature film. We got one shot, less opportunity to make money and stuff like that. But she also
pay out.
But she needs that. She's probably going to want that payout at some point too.
Right.
Like that really nice paycheck.
And that's when DC comes knocking.
Yeah.
We want you to reboot Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, you'll see. You'll see. It's coming sooner than later. I guarantee it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, if you're doing Star Wars stuff and it's connecting, I would imagine that it definitely has other people knocking on your door to try to get you involved. But yeah, the new directors sound good, and we got some new photos right here. And once again, all from the same little pile of stuff.
When I first saw that head, I thought it was the robot from Power Rangers.
Oh shit, that one dude. Yeah, yeah. The photos themselves like are neat, but onto themselves, but they are clearly giving the first episode, just photos from the first episode, and they're all kind of the same.
They're very TV-ish. I mean, I'm not gonna look. 1 point lighting is your friend when you're on a limited budget.
Yeah,
That's how you keep everything consistent, especially in the editing room. But there's a distinct lack of cinematicness to this for some reason.
yeah.
And I hate to fault the Clerks cinematographer. I hate to do it, but there's something a little Kevin Smithy about this. Look, I love Kevin Smith, but we could all agree, even he would. The cinematography in this film, he used to throw that guy under the bus all the time. Yeah. I don't know how to make this look good. I'm like, isn't that his job? Like,
I don't know. Well, what if it's Dean Cundy just like going, "Hey, that's how we do it now."
When your best looking film is Jersey Girl, you got problems.
Yeah. True. But yeah, and like every time there's something about her costume that where I'm like when I see like the red on the costume, I dig it. I feel like it's G.I. Joe. When they had like the stealth, not the stealth, the SR-71 Blackbird toy with the black and the red going, and like that little era of G.I.
Like
Joe.
in the Billy Meyer photos, yes.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Very Snake Eyes meets Baroness, right?
Yeah.
Like if there was a what if Snake Eyes, the Baroness had become Snake Eyes, I imagine they would stupidly they give her a coat for some reason, but you know what I mean? Like they would do that cool red underneath the coat look. I agree. She looks fantastic, by the way. Like,
oh yeah,
everything going on with her. She looks better than any of the G.I. Joe movies, actually.
But no, but like the like when the red is popping on the costume, I'm all about it and it looks rad. But then you see other ones of her like in Jabba's old palace throne room with Boba, and the red doesn't stand out at all.
I think that collar needs to be red.
Yeah.
So the collar around her head. So the reason why is red draws your eye, and you're looking down, and you should be looking up. So she needs that, or maybe she needed. This would piss off all the right wingers, but like give her like the red stripe in her hair or something, like
right,
or like if it was like a stripe that came with a buzz cut that kind of came like halfway around, kind of thing.
Why would that piss off the right wingers?
They don't like it when they change. They don't like it when women change their hair color. Like they're those people. They worship a guy who changes his face color, but whatever. It needs some of that red up top. It's too all down there.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's give her a little red scarf dyed with the blood of her enemies. Maybe.
Her ponytail could have been red, and that would have solved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when she has the mask on, the mask has the red, and it works. It's when the mask comes off that you have the issue. I think.
And of course, they'll have it off most of the time because we need to see their face. So.
Yeah. Well, they didn't get a beautiful woman to wear a mask. Right, but
I don't know, man. There's a large portion of the global population who does that. Like,
I mean, but look at Favreau wearing a mask. Look at this loser who thinks he could save himself with the mask and a shield. It's fake, bro. It's all a lie, dog.
He should have got an Iron Man themed one, though. You know what I mean? Just to be like, I started it.
Yeah.
He's trimmed up a little bit though, man.
Yeah.
He has.
Yeah, is that a frog dog down here? Oh no, it's one of those mastiffs.
Oh.
From
I thought it was a rescue. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those, what they're called, the dogs from Attack of the Clones in the last season of Mando. And
Cute.
Yeah. Is this that camera looks pretty fancy, by the way. Yeah.
I'll say, bro. Like,
Oh,
my
this.
buddy does this for a living. I've never seen a rig quite like that one. That's
Hey, I recognize those trees. I know where they're at.
smell segundo.
Del Segundo set. Yep, definitely. And people were going like, "Hey, are they sure that Jon Favreau isn't directing?" That was one of the DMs I got. And I will say, as the showrunner, he's probably has his little directing moments across everything in these little ways.
No, look, Jason, when he directs, he wears the chef's hat, the really tall chef's tall white one. Yeah, that's how you know.
And he's like, you know what? Needs a little oregano.
It's oregano.
And then oregano.
It's oregano.
That's what he said when they made Gina Carano from Alderaan. And then they're like, but her name is Dune. He's all, that the heart wants what the heart wants. Okay.
The hot? No, the hot. No, the hot?
The heart wants what the heart wants.
I'm confused. Heart or hot? Or yeah, I'm confused.
Hey, Eric, how's it going, dude? Eric says, sup, turkeys?
Gobbles.
Mr.
By the way, the Thanksgiving Animaniacs episode from 1991 still holds up.
Still holds up, huh?
Quite good.
Yeah, I watched that Garfield special last night from when we were kids, where they
when Grandma saves the day.
Yeah, it was.
He's forcing himself on the veterinarian. Yeah.
But there we go. We got Massive's back. We got what's his name?
Gobbles.
Favreau doing stuff. And I don't know. I don't know if I see anything else interesting in here so far, but
everyone's wearing cool jackets back there.
And then here we go. He's all, so I hear you like to flash dance. Was she flash dance?
I want to live forever. Oh, that's Fame. Sorry,
that's Fame. We have a Fame director.
Yeah.
So the Fame remake director doing one of these episodes. Is that Dirge back there? No, that's a Gamorrean guard.
That's a good
the rocket's like right in his face line right there.
Right.
That rocket must be a bitch to try to frame shots around at times.
It's probably especially if the tip just sticks over his head, you know? Like,
yeah. Look at her. Look at her. I feel like a loser right now. I thought Boba wanted me. I thought Boba was my man. Nope.
You know, I just can't believe they're going out of focus in shots now. You know, I tried to eliminate that. Like everything's in focus, like Citizen Kane. And then now
yeah. But you know,
there's a fern.
There's a fern.
They're between two ferns. Hey, look at that. That's amazing.
That Gamorrean guard looks like he's pretty tough. Looks like that's a big ass Gamorrean guard. The ones we saw in Return of the Jedi are looking super weird. The more I see these guys, they're like these like little stout fat dudes. And in this one, they're all like these big old fucking 6 foot.
You want a Rob story?
Yeah,
well, it's quick.
Oh,
my 6th grade science teacher was Mr. Whitman. His wife was Mrs. Whitman, who was my art teacher. Mrs. Whitman did not like me because I liked comic books and would only draw comic book or video game things, and she hated it. Mr. Whitman was cool, but Mr. Whitman, I'm just going to say they were both portly. I only bring this up because Mr. Whitman, when you walked into his classroom, had a glass shelf, and in there was dedicated to nothing but pigs. And he had a lot of Gamorrean guards in there. He said he loved pigs. Really loved them, you know?
Well, I guess
and he'd just go out of his way. And I was just like, all right.
Well, all I can say to that is Boba's back.
Yeah, it's a king.
Tamara Morrison as the titular bounty hunter in the book of Boba Fett.
So right now I see that Gamorrean guard and I think of Mr. Whitman and getting real excited.
It is funny the amount of writing and work that has to go into magazines and stuff, making its readers feel like they're not as smart as they are by just using dumb words like titular.
Yeah, or using a weird center justified text for no reason.
Yeah, Yeah.
I don't know.
This
It's
this
odd.
image went to my phone. I think it got compressed. I can't even read what
This is
that
the
said.
"Catch Me If You Can" logo, right?
Most wanted.
Right. The lines, the Saul Bass lines going.
Yeah. But Boba's looking a little like Flight of the Navigator here. Can't lie.
Yeah, it's very clean.
you know, I really do. I really think that it's the lack of film grain in 4K that is giving me that vibe. Like I feel like when they go back to Jabba's palace in the like when I watched the Mandalorian episode, I don't feel there's anything weird about the Mandalorian episode. And then when we get to Boba and that last part, I feel like it needs film grain to feel like what we were looking at for 40 years, you know?
Are we starting to turn into like hardcore retro gamers, or we have to watch the show on a CRT now?
I think so. I
Yeah.
think we really might be, but I mean it definitely helped. Like I watched I saw Rogue One in a really shitty movie theater, like one of the last times I ever saw it, and it was bad. But boy, did Tarkin look better than ever. I enjoyed the Tarkin scenes in the worst movie theater of all time more than I ever enjoyed him any other viewing. Definitely hides a lot. And I mean, I would even say like there's even kind of a weirdness about like growing up watching VHS Star Wars. Jabba's palace felt so much bigger in a cropped 4:3 image where you couldn't see shit in the background because your mind was just filling in so many things that could have been back there and what was going on. And then like
I don't
now when
miss
you
the 4:3.
I wouldn't go back to it.
I can take the film grain. I can take the distorted image on a VHS. I can't take the 4:3.
Yeah. But
Can't
but
do it.
but you see what I'm saying? You know what I mean though? Like it when you watch it today in 4K, and you can see everything in the background perfectly fine. It has over the years, I feel like kind of gotten smaller for me in a weird way. I think it's interesting how that works.
I
But
actually liked Zack Snyder's Justice League. I just couldn't stand the aspect ratio. They're like, "Well, it's for IMAX." I'm like, "I get it. It wasn't released in IMAX. It was released on the internet. Weird."
yeah.
So I got to watch like 4-inch gaps on my TV. It's
Yeah,
the
I
strangest
find
thing.
the I want everybody to be happy and to get what they want and greedy corporations want to sell people something that they want to buy, by all means do it, I say. But the Zack Snyder fan thing is so fascinating to me because it is so slow, but they have such an attention span. But then I think like they have an attention span, like truly, like
Well,
it, but it's so slow, it's so boring for me.
I get that, but the way I look at it, this is so odd. It's an odd take.
Mhm.
Is my favorite comics. I'm gonna say my favorite comic, but the comic industry that I grew up with really primarily was in the '90s, late '80s, mid '90s. And so when I see Zack Snyder's Justice League in the slow motion, I just figured this is like a when it used to get these 2-page spread action scenes,
Yeah.
like it looks, it's like getting an Image comic, a Jim Lee style comic book in live action, which is why I still think Zack Snyder would make the best Spawn movie that could be made.
Mhm.
I think there's no one better suited to that aesthetic in live action than him. Unfortunately, his fans are fucking psychotic. Like, it's not even remotely close. What are you talking about? You guys are like,
Yeah,
they're
well,
nuts.
it's the same thing with Raylos. Like there are these times when the subsets of fandoms decide that it's like we're gonna be persecuted, make that our identity, and then lean into it. Don't do that. It's not the way to be. Like stuff, be into it. But
Sadly, there's some Crash Bandicoot fans that do the same with their lives. They
yeah, yeah, yeah,
associate with their entire life, and I'm like, please don't. You know how many people worked on this from the '90s that the people who created this don't associate it with
right.
their lives. You probably shouldn't either. So
Yeah. Yeah, that one. Well, like I guess you have that in every fandom, but it's like I know I've seen it like in music fans and stuff like that too.
I feel
But
bad for the fans that legitimately believe in it. It's the ones that get like violent over like, could you imagine if it was Garfield? You make a Garfield with Bill Murray's voice, or I won't, or you with Lorenzo Music's voice, or I will not. It will never be the same. Like, could you imagine? It'd be ridiculous. But some fandoms just
yeah,
they get away with it. It's crazy.
when they were closing down parts of Disneyland to make Galaxy's Edge,
Mm.
I'm pretty sure I believe that there were bomb threats called into Disney's Burbank studios by someone, and it's just like it's like wow, it's definitely different. I used to have this guy who would threaten to kill me and have me killed all the time,
Oh shit.
and his name was Adam Heatherly. And he would make videos, and I think his videos have all been taken off the internet. I think he got his channels closed down a couple of times.
Okay.
But boy, did he make he made this like opening crawl about me and stuff, and it was pretty wild. It was a little bit funny at a time. I finally ended up getting a hold of a family member of his and told them, and you know what their response was?
The Elmo gif.
They
Did they send you the Elmo gif?
They just didn't want to deal with them. And then I knew other people who like had to deal with his brand of craziness too, and we could always figure out who he is by his IP, and he wasn't very good at masking it, and so we would always get it and know that it was him. But I don't think he liked the new Star Wars movies and fucked off. Thankfully, you're probably watching this right now.
Probably the sanest one out of the crazies. It was like, not my thing.
So you're probably gonna David Chapman me or whatever one of these days when I'm coming out my front lawn.
No, don't say that. My cousin hit me up. She goes, they're remodeling Toontown. And I'm like, they should scrap it and turn it into Duckburg and put the Darkwing Duck and the DuckTales and all. And she was like, what DuckTales? She somehow, I'm like, it's not Toontown. No, it's Toontown. Okay, where's the Warner Brothers characters? It's not Toontown. This is some shitty Eisner thing Eisner made. Just scrap it, build it out, and make Duckburg.
It was the WB virus that killed all the WB characters, and now we're post.
I like to think we had to dip them all in dip, and we just put bugs in.
As a kid, I really loved Roger Rabbit, like that whole thing. It was a huge movie. It was a good time, but with the amount of like care and love that goes into keeping it up, I don't know why Toontown's a thing in 2021.
It should be Duckburg. It should be Chippendales and Darkwing Duck and the DuckTales and all that stuff, man. It should be that Saturday morning, afternoon area, and they should expand it out and build it. I want to see a money bin so bad, bro. I
use that part of the park to go, and they have little parks in there, like playgrounds. And before COVID, I take my kids there, go play on the stuff, on the dumb little slide and all that. And I get.
Could you imagine hunting for little treasures? Like, because they do that thing at the park where they get everyone involved in the backstory. Like, imagine having different treasures you could hunt down at different times of the year, and to get collectible pins and all sorts of stuff. Like, Warren Spector, the director of Epic Mickey. Right. And then he created Deus Ex. When we went to Disneyland, he's the one who told me that at the time Disney hates the ducks. They don't hate the ducks? Yeah. Because he was trying to make a DuckTales game at the time. As a follow-up to Epic. Look, Epic Mickey's crazy too. You ever seen the concept art for the game compared to what actually got made? Mm-mm. The concept art looks like juxtaposed paintings like Salvador Dali meets steampunk. And then you see the game, you're like, what happened? You're like, licensor approvals got involved and changed all of that, Yeah. So I just think, given what that park does, but that they should have done Duckburg. But my cousin's one of those Disney purists. Was like, no, it was that way. It was always been that way. I'm like, really? Where's the Incredible Shrinking People fucking ride that I remember where Star Tours used to be? Because I went on that ride in like 82 or 83 with my parents and scream when I saw everyone being miniaturized. Because I had this thing where you could look and see everyone small. It was a weird mirror trick, But I thought they were really going to shrink us down a screen. Like, you wouldn't believe.
That what's Mike TV in Willy Wonka,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
There was an actual app for Galaxy's Edge, and it had all of these games that you can do and like puzzles and like hacking and stuff, and it would like turn your phone into like a Star Wars communicator, and you were able to like go and like you would have to like do like these hacking puzzles to open up stuff, and you could only do it in certain places and stuff like that, and it was really fun but very broken. And I did it all. Me and the kids were like, I'm like, hey, if I'm going to spend $1,000 on these fucking passes, we're doing every little aspect of this,
Well,
but we did it all, and it amounted to nothing. There was nothing for it, and in fact, they would lose the data on the work that we did.
Of course,
and we spent all the time and shit, and it was just like,
Well,
when
we were there,
no, if they had followed through, it would have been fantastic.
Yeah, but they don't. They're never going to keep all your data. They have no. Look, the worst thing about Disney is their ability with video games and software. It's their way of the worst track record with it. They're as bad with that as Nintendo is with the internet. They're just so outdated. When we were there for that Epic Mickey Day, at the time, I remember spouting off my futurisms, right? And I was like, you know what? Augmented reality is going to be a big thing, and I can imagine a thing where you get in a park and you get these glasses, and then you can hang out with your own Disney, Mickey, or you could see him run around in 3D like the Jaws 3D, right? Like this, you could do in a park in a closed center. And they were like, "That's a crazy idea." And then now with the metaverse, I'm like, that's where they should go with specials and improving like crazy animations in the park. Is if you could pull that off in a theme park, that's the place to do it, where you could have an Imperial Armada comes in and comes down and blows stuff up, and then you could have theatrical. The only thing that's going off is the smoke and little pyrotechnics and stuff. While these AR things.
That's kind of what I thought they should have done with California Adventure, as they started to move it away from California. Because once again, Southern California to Californians is the stupidest idea you can do.
Although the remodel they did is smart. The 1939, yeah, that I do approve of that.
But I feel like it's sort of like it has like one foot in let's take away from Universal, but it's not really going to, because Universal is such a different experience. And I felt like they should have just went more metaverse concept overall in California Adventure. It would allow them to, whenever they make some shitty new movie based on Tron or something, they could throw it in there how they kind of were, but in a much.
They should have just ripped it off and gone Droid Starry Farms, and it's all Star Wars, but it's like in the Old West,
right? Yeah, just fuck you, Snoopy. I had to go down there yesterday to pick up my brother for Thanksgiving to Knott's Berry Farm.
Did you get the chicken?
No,
you don't have to go in the park to get the chicken.
Just picked him up.
My uncles would always be like, you can get the chicken right there. You don't have to go in the park. You can get it right there. I'm like, I don't want the chicken. I just want a funnel cake. I don't want anything in the world. That's all I would. You go to Knott's Berry Farm, I'm like, please, can I just get a funnel cake? Can I get a funnel cake? You can get a funnel cake. Oh, can I get my own funnel cake? Yes.
Yeah, funnel cakes are it's pretty fun. The funnel cake
disgusting, but like 11-year-old Rob, so happy.
But the I mean, even as an adult, I'm like the chicken is not that amazing. It's pretty some basic ass chicken, really.
Yeah.
But
it's basic ass chicken. We should do that. BACs.
Basic ass chicken. That's very fun chicken. It's pretty much the same thing, because it's basic ass chicken.
Comes in a sack. We don't even put it in a bag.
Yeah. But overall, like that, my kids, they're vaccinated now, and they started to go like, can we go to Disneyland now? And I'm still on the side of look at it, we still got to see where things are going, But I also, another part of me is like, do I really want to get back into that ecosphere of
like I've finally been able to save a little bit of money.
A little bit. Let's go spend it all. No, it's just like Galaxy's Edge, and I don't blame them because of what's happened. Like I don't see like it being a growing period for them necessarily, but I feel like if we had lived in a world where there was no pandemic, Galaxy's Edge would be ready for something very new to happen there. At this point now, it's been like a year or two. It's like something needs to go to kind of like spice it up a little bit. And I don't think that's going to really be happening other than like stuff that is once again based on consumption. Buy a $500 lightsaber experience or something like that, And then we have the and then they put all of the effort into that Star Wars hotel.
This ties into what we started the thing off, though. We started off with you doing the VR. Am I not right, though? Star Wars in VR really nullifies a lot of this Galaxy's Edge stuff. Like if you could get a VR experience graphically that wasn't tied to a mobile CPU, like a Ghost of Tsushima level like VR experience, I mean, it makes it very difficult to justify.
The only thing is Rise of the Resistance is a ride that you have to go on to even understand like what level of ride experience they have elevated itself to.
Yeah, but they're not making a bunch of those. That's the one they're making for quite a while. Like before Pandy, I'd expect them to make another one every 3 years, but now
getting into inside the Millennium Falcon physically is another experience that you can't really.
I'm not tied to that. I guess I'm lucky in that I don't. For me personally, I'm not saying that to the audience. For me personally, though, I don't care.
I'm curious if that changes when you go there afterwards. If you're like, you know what, I enjoyed
Not
that.
Really.
But
I'll prove to you why. Because I was never into, how do I say this? Like the things that impressed me at the park from an engineering standpoint, like I always have, probably always will, is like when you go into Sleepy Beauty's castle, they have these animated scenes. You can look through a window, and they've set up various screens where like an actual animated
he's taking a deuce on the prince. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but because he didn't want to get vaxxed. But like, what I did there?
It's a rumor. if you're anti-vax, shit in each other's mouths. I hear that's a cure.
When they're able to make artwork come to life, that's what I'm interested in. Actual like physical Star Wars ships, not interested in too much. Like I'm more interested in like, how do I say it's like if they could get a giant Rancor to come out and it looked pretty amazing, that would impress me, right?
Sure.
Like the fact that doesn't exist is nuts.
There were like things that were going to be implemented into that park that were like cut. Like when there's this little walkway where Hondo and Naka will come out, a guy dressed up as Hondo every now and then for special events. Mm-hmm. And every day that was going to get shot and it was going to crumble down and there was going to be a little like RP kind of thing that happened around it. They ended up not doing that and they ended up pulling that out. And that's one of the things I really would have loved to have seen happen. And then one of the other things too, was I know several people who worked on the Millennium Falcon ride, and they designed and made several different adventures for it. And there's like things like one of them where you end up getting pulled like a sled. There's one where you're trying to get kyber crystals, and basically replicates the explosion from Solo. When the kyber shipment falls and blows up the mountain. Basically, that happens if you fell.
Watch your friends die.
Yeah,
the ride
blow up like a mountain. Like there were all of these things that were made, and none of it's been implemented. And I have to imagine it's just a matter of time until they do, because it's done. It's the same stuff. But I also think that the ride breaks down every so often, and maybe they're just like, we don't want to deal with putting something else in to make this less smooth for us at this time. I don't know. But I also feel like if we lived in a different time, or if history hadn't unfolded how it had, we would have had those by now, and we haven't. And that's just one of the things. Like we got really good at that Falcon ride. And by the way, if you guys ever go on the Falcon ride, when you're the gunners, you have 3 buttons. One shoots high, one shoots mid, and one shoots low. You know, it has to be simple because most people are going to wait a few hours to ride the ride, and then they have their 5 minutes in there. But the thing about it is those things auto fire. So you'll see people button mashing like they're playing Skate or Die in 1989, you know, or something, trying to like really get it going. You don't have to do it. You just hold your finger on the button, and it auto fires at maximum rate. When I went to the previews, the guys in front of me were the developers of the ride. And so they didn't know who I was. So I just started like talking.
See, for me, the ride would have been Rogue Squadron. That would have got me. If it was like, imagine this. It's a ride that's like a big version of the Star Wars arcade game that kind of goes on rails. Yeah. But you and like, say it loads up 15 different people in an X-Wing, right? Like a cockpit. That's all you're really in. But you get in there and then it's all like in full motion video.
15 people in a DeLorean.
And then you go through a mission where you can, you know, steer the ship within a limit, and then it takes the droid R2 taking over, and then flies you into another area. You fly, and then R2 moves you to another area, and then you know, like that, and you can talk to your like buddies. You know, you can see your on the little view thing. You can see your there's my kid, my whatever. You know, and it's got like a 2-seater if we got a kid, or like that. That would be dope. A Y-wing, a B-wing, an X-wing. Like, you going on a mission together to take something down makes sense. The Falcon has that stupid steering wheel. I can't get excited by that. You ever seen the Falcon steering wheel? It's dumb. It's dumb. Stupid. It's like, I can't. I don't. It's dumb. Can't get into it.
It's a really fun game.
Don't care about the Millennium Falcon. It's fun. I know. People don't agree with me, but
and if they
speeder bikes would interest me more.
No, same. I mean, I would love for them to do more. You know, I would love for there to be more coming. Good afternoon. Headed out in a few minutes to do a send and visit locally. Oh, nice.
If it was the Star Tours version of BattleTech, that would have really got me to save up the money. But yeah, I know, right? Stop saying my age, but believe me, BattleTech was my dream.
No, I thought about that. What really, it does suck that we live in a world where we can't do laser tag at Galaxy's Edge, because that would be so rad.
How would the cops know you're not really trying to murder one another?
Yeah. Well, and the truth is it would end up bad. Somebody would find a way to make it bad. But it is a shame though, because that would be really fun, you know, really, really good. But yeah, Galaxy's Edge, overall, like I said, I actually really love it. I think it's really, really good. There's like a lot of stuff going on where people were like, there's nobody there. What is that like? And I would go there, and it was always, every single day, one of those stores become where there was nobody there. It was packed. It made no sense.
All I know is John Campea went right when it opened back up with his wife for their anniversary, and I think he spent like $1,500 just on the hotel room, and was just he did a video, bro, where he was like, he was double birding to Disney.
Yeah,
I will never go back to Disney. We spent $5,000 and didn't get to even just do whatever we wanted. I'm like, oh man, my buddy was there that day, and he said that you have to like pre-sign up for everything now, and I guess a lot of people don't know that, you know, is what it is. So
yeah, I mean, everybody knows that.
Apparently not Campea, poor guy. Like, I would hate to spend $5,000 and not get to go on Rise of the Resistance, bro, like that.
No, you have to go in. If you go in the morning, and you have to get on the app, and you have to queue for it. What is awesome about it and bad about it is, number one is if you don't do it right then you're asked out for the whole day. It's not going to happen for you. On the other side of it, though, it is pretty nice to be able to go queue up for it in that line, and then not have to worry about it. The problem I have with it is, like, somebody like Campea is coming from out of town. They're clearly going to be there.
No, he lives in LA.
Okay, wherever. But if you spent $5,000 on a hotel and he lives in LA, oh well, that's on you, bud.
I think it was $1,500. But look, they splurged on the hotel because they did the one in California Adventure. You know
it's not that good.
I hear ya. I know what my cousin. We would stay right down the block at the cheapo one for super or whatever, and walk to the park. Which you need to walk anyway. Perfectly honest with you. Yeah. But I just say that there are people that don't know, like, the sad part about the parks are you have to know all the tricks to have the experience that you're paying for, you know? And I'd say maybe half the people going there know that. So.
I find it strange. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't spend $400 on a video game system or something without reading about it for a couple of hours and really knowing I want it and stuff. So that's sort of strange that people wouldn't look into it.
Let's take a guess without looking right now, Jason. I just want to ask you, what do you think a PS5 is going for on eBay right now?
$4,000.
Yes, $4,000.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why? Like, I can understand someone paying double if they really wanted one, didn't want to wait another 2 years.
Do you know?
I don't agree with it.
Vegas with $4,000.
I don't agree with it.
That would be your memories you will have well beyond anything from a PlayStation.
But $4,000 for
like Tifa, you can get Tifa to your room. I'm kidding, but it's $4,000 for a PlayStation. You're an idiot at that point. You are you're fucking stupid. It's not worth it. It's just not. It makes no sense why anybody would ever do that.
Can I sell the image of the PS5 as an NFT and then use that money to get the PS5?
Yeah.
I mean, I could wreck the planet and commit fraud, but at least I got my PS5. You know what I mean?
I mean,
so dumb.
Who cares? Once the planet's wrecked, we're all going to be dead anyway. Nobody's going to
just to be clear, I'm not saying the Falcon ride isn't cool. I'm just telling everyone out there I have no interest in it. What I have interest in is if we could all get in snow speeders, right? Each one of, like, say 6 of us at a time, getting each in a snow speeder and go actually fucking attack and AT-AT. That is the experience I want to have. If 6 of us could get in X-Wings and attack the Death Star, that is the experience I want to have. Where 6 of us split up and 2 of us have a fun experience and 1 of us is moving the console thing and some ship that I don't care about is not the experience I want to have.
Here's what. So I've had so many experiences on that ride. The best one is me and my daughter. We could fly the shit out of that thing. And every now and then, when she was smaller, I would fly. She would sit there, and I would do it all because I can do it all. I'm that good. But she saw me doing it, and she got that good. So every now and then, it would be like me and my son would be gunners, and she would double pilot, and then we'd get these randos in the back who were the engineers. And when my 4-year-old daughter yells at you like you're a freaking idiot, it's the best. Remember when you used to be the pilot in the Millennium Falcon, and we get those randos from like Japan or something who couldn't speak English, didn't know what they were doing, and you would just go crazy on them. Yeah, she looks all shy here right now, but you see her when she's piloting the Millennium Falcon, and it's no nonsense. You hear that laugh? She knows. But yeah. But anyways. Oh no. Well, what is this? What is this about? What, you want to be on my Star Wars show?
No.
No. No.
Do you miss piloting the Millennium Falcon?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to do it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. We'll have to.
Universal Studios should just knock it off. I mean, knock off the ride, but it's the 18 van. One person gets to drive, and the other sit in the back rolling around.
No, that's what sucks, man. Is like Universal used to be my like place, man. When they had Back to the Future stuff and everything, and then like you go there today, here's Fast and the Furious, the ride, and remember the Mummy? And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to.
No. What I love is when I say love, they're really bad, generically cheaply made 3D rides. They got this one where the dinosaur ride used to be, and it was like this super generic, made in China for no effort 3D ride that gave me the worst headaches I've ever had. And I don't get headaches in 3D. I'm like, what? It's out of sync. Like it's the cheapest, dumbest. The only thing dumber would be like, did you ever go to the aquarium and it'd have like a VR simulator, but you're just sitting on a chair with some TV in front of you and they close the drapes? You're like, this is not a ride. This is watching TV in a decorated booth. Like, I'll go look at the fish.
Did you ever do the Star Trek Star Tours ripoff in Vegas or anything like that?
No, but I have stayed at the hotel since they got rid of the Star Trek experience, and the promenade is still there. Like they just painted over it, but you're still on the promenade. You're like, this is clearly Deep Space Nine. Like it's not even funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Northgate. I think it was Northgate or Westgate. I can't remember which one.
I remember that we stopped at Northgate Mexican Market that had really, really good chorizo in the morning. But anyways, all right. Are you cool? You just hanging out?
I'm jumping on you.
Okay.
Jump on Dad.
Jump on Dad.
Jump on.
Okay. All right. Well, Penny, what do you want to talk about? What's your favorite Star Wars movie, Penny? You got one? Your favorite Star Wars character?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Princess Leia.
Princess Leia?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's pretty cool. Yeah, she ain't too shabby, you know. What's that look for? What's that look for? Anyways, yeah, but I don't know, man. I think when you do Smuggler's Run, I think it'll win you over a lot more than the impression that they give of Smuggler's Run. I think you will like it more than you think. I'm not saying it's going to knock your socks
beware
off.
of hitchhiking droids. That make it more fun. Sometimes Star Wars is just too serious, man.
No, a ride, the classic Disney ride where you do sit and just experience things around you, like the Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean, that kind of thing. I do think that it would be good for Star Wars to do a ride like that.
Jabba's Palace.
Jabba's Palace, Ewok.
Jabba's Palace is the
Ewok
perfect.
Spears, but yeah, something like that would be everything, because everything that they have for the Star Wars rides is trying to emulate the Star Wars experience at 10.
Whoever decided that Galaxy's Edge should not be able to have any of the original trilogy stuff in it should have been fired. Like, it should be something that doesn't exist in continuity. It should be something that you can go and experience a little bit of every Star Wars in. That it should be a Star Wars experience. I don't agree. Again, that is them taking it too serious, man.
No, it's them not following through. If they had followed through, then I agree with you in in terms of what it's become, but in terms of what it was supposed to be.
Could you imagine if the rest of the park treated the Disney stuff as if it was only in continuity? No, so the park, we can only do Encanto and Soul now, but nothing else.
But what they had was there was going to be things like where when like books came out, like for instance, if you go to the cantina, there is a blaster mark on the wall. That blast mark was from the Thrawn novel, from a prominent point of one of the Thrawn books. No, that one is nothing. But it was there was supposed to actually be huge tie-ins that made it where it was going to be a living thing with seasons. So
whenever selling, there should be a Clone Wars area and an OT and a PT area. Come on, man! Like, and you mix it up so people can't just avoid the PT. They got to go into it.
It's not that big.
I know, but what I'm saying is you could get a little PT bar. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Is there something it's just, or they could rotate it? Look, I'm just telling you, I fundamentally disagree with that take on it. It's like making a Toontown when you can't get all the characters from the movie. It doesn't make any sense. You want to make a Roger Rabbit ride, I get it, but Toontown involves all the tunes.
What they like to make Bob Chapek out in certain circles on the YouTube internet to be this great white hope who comes in and fixes Star Wars for them. He literally screwed that thing up. He's the reason that
I've not been a fan of Chapek.
Yeah, all of that got messed up because he kept cutting things back. And so what you were going to have was you were going to have an evolving storyline with an ever-changing Galaxy's Edge that moved forward with the rest of the universe.
Parks as a service.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
When I'm paying $125 a month for my pass, yes, that's exactly what it is.
They want to take that away, though. They don't want you to have $125 a month for a pass.
And they're idiots, because what they did was every time you go to leave the park with my fucking stupid pass, Sorry, you're not supposed to be here on this.
I didn't do it. I just want the chat to know I didn't do it.
She has a worse mouth than I do. Anyways, it's supposed to it was supposed to be, like I said, parks as a service, but as you go and as you're leaving, they have these little people. Excuse me, sir. I know you've been here for 8 hours waiting in lines. You're about to go. Can I give you a survey? And everybody goes, no. And then if they say yeah, they go, did you eat here? And then you say no. And then they go, okay, bye. And that's how it works.
Yes, Nolan, because all of my normal friends in real life go, I can't wait to go to Batu. They don't go. It's Star Wars Land. Look, the average person doesn't know anything about this and doesn't care. They want to know where Darth Vader is and everything else. Like, just, it's so goofy. To say it would make it like Six Flags is that, come on, you're just being, it's ridiculous. Hollow is Six Flags is because they never properly theme anything or do anything.
But pause. They have that. When you go to a Tomorrowland, there's Star Tours, there's Darth Vader, there's Captain Phasma. No, but all of the meet and greets stuff, all of that stuff is it's not like that was not represented. It is.
I hear you. It's fine. It's not the worst. I'm not saying it's keeping me from going. What's keeping me from going is living in Boise, and I'm not spending $5,000 to go to California Adventure or fucking Disneyland. You know, like nothing right now is going to trick me into doing that. However, I'm certain I'll go there and have a cool time. It's just a shame that it's wrapped around whatever era that they don't really believe in. Just wait when Batu gets rethemed for the High Republic, and then and then you're like, what is going on? Like, you'll see.
Well, no, I that is exactly though like what was supposed to be able to happen, but at the same time we are meeting in the middle here and agreeing, because I don't think I'm gonna go this year and re-up a pass or anytime soon, or even buy tickets just to go, because Oh yeah, did I miss the Rangers of the New Republic topic? I don't think we really hit on that correctly, did we?
Yeah, when I read this, by the way, I read the Kathleen Kennedy part, Yeah, and so I was like, well, this is taken out of context a little bit.
But we need to say what it was. Is that right. Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy says that they are going to integrate the show Rangers of the New Republic into future Mando iterations. And my scoop was they never wrote anything on it, and she confirmed my part of my scoop. The one difference that I was hearing for a long time was that it wasn't dead, and at the same time, what she's saying, if you ask me, what she's saying is it's just going to be rebranded. When she says iterations of Mando, that's what Boba is. And so they're probably not going to call it Rangers of the New Republic now, because it's going to make everybody go, Gina Carano was supposed to do this.
So it's twofold. One, she said the storylines will be repurposed for the Mando season, which means whatever they had kind of intended to do, they'll refold into Mando 3 or season 4, whatever they're going to do.
Yeah.
And then two, that will then become something else, that it probably isn't called Ranger of the Republic. It'll probably become, what was the dude with the cool hair?
Cobb Vanth?
Yeah, the guy with the Mando armor, right? Like, it would be like
Cobb County Tatooine.
Yeah, Cobb County, Cobb County Jr.
Cobb County Jr. Right.
Tatooine. Yeah, on Planet Briscoe. I can't wait to watch.
Cobb County Jr. Tatooine Space Cops.
Yeah. Troopers
Space
confirmed.
Cop. Yeah.
Troopers confirmed.
Yeah, so we end up with in a place where we're kind of where we probably were going to be at. That show was always going to be on the back end of everything else. And if you ask me, there were rumors from the Tatooine show that this was the last season of Mando. Does it change that? Because if you think about it, if you think about it,
it's a good question.
What if they end up doing something with Mando, sort of like Mando has what if Mando's story is ostensibly finished, but then he has all of these friends that he's made across the television show, Cobb Vanth and Boba Fett and all of these other guys, you know what I mean? what if they end up all kind of working into the fold together? And one thing to consider is
The
Boba Fett,
Vanth team.
the Van,
Ba-da-ba-da-bam-bam.
Vanth Force 5.
I should have been Black Van, motherfucker.
But one thing to consider is that it like Boba, if he goes forward with what he intends to, or where we think it's going to go, he's going to be in direct opposition to Cobb Vanth, right? He's going to be wanting to take taxes away from Mos Pelgo and stuff like that,
Okay.
and illegally or without just cause, and you're going to end up with some kind of friction there. And so it is worth considering that we could end up with Boba being the bad guy in that, or Boba could have a change of heart and actually rule Tatooine in a different way by the end of things, in a just way, and become the actual like monarch of Tatooine or something like to that effect.
Czar.
Yeah, and then isn't actually in league with them and keeping the peace, and it all ends up playing into him being a bigger anti-hero kind of arc. But the other thing also that I wanted to bring up that I forgot from the New Empire magazine is that they confirmed that we go back to Mos Espa, Anakin Skywalker's hometown, which opens up the door for Watto. If you didn't think about that, Watto can be like, "Oh, Boba Fett, what are you doing here?" You know.
I just wish it was called Mos Vespa, and they all just ride little scooters around.
But remember when I was asking that question, is that city in the Mos Espa pod track racetrack? Has that city formed into it? I think it might be, man.
Oh, did it become the Sinkhole City?
Yeah, Mos Espa may have grown from when Anakin was a boy into 35.
Star Wars Santa is kind of great. I'm not cutting you off.
Oh, wait, what do you say?
Gotta see the newest Star Wars Santa.
Cobb Vanth Huts in Pelgo Spice Run equals chips. Yeah.
It's good, man.
Well, good. And that's one other thing that I want to throw out there as a possibility, because everyone is going to assume that that Gina Carano is the catalyst for the show changing and falling apart. Maybe there is actually like truth to it, but let's also consider something that I had heard that Rogue Squadron was sort of like, you know, we're the cops, and that this Rogue Rangers of the New Republic was going to be like chips in comparison. And well, our cops got canceled, right? I mean, they're not making that anymore, and I think that they wanted some kind of synergy between.
I want to be Ponch Filoni.
I think they wanted synergy though between the Rogue Squadron concept and the Rangers concept, and both of those have now fallen off, and neither is feeding into either. And I have a feeling that that also could play into some aspects of where we're at with those ideas. You know, and I
think so, huh?
I don't know. I'm not saying I think so. I'm saying I'm proposing it's worth considering.
Yeah,
you know, it definitely.
I don't think Rogue Squadron's ever getting made, but
no, I don't.
I think anyone can make it. I mean, anyone. I'm not being a dick, you know. I'm with you in that I don't think it's an auteur vision. You know, Rogue Squadron is a whatever, but yeah. I want them to form Rad Squadron. It's the one that took place right after. You know, get Josh Brolin on there, right? Like,
I think it will happen. I think that it just maybe now's not the time for it. It'll probably go back into more development. But yeah, but I mean, but that's what I've been saying too, man. Is like it's not like only the person who made Wonder Woman could do this. Like there is nothing, or only if your daddy was a fighter pilot can you do it too. That's just crazy. You know what I mean? I mean, I think Homeboy who made Top Gun might have had a few daddies who were fighter pilots, but that's a different thing altogether. It doesn't count. So, you know. And then to comment on what James said, I do think the sequel trilogy did resonate with a new generation of
there
fans.
Is. Yeah, there
and that's why I think that it making Batu set in the sequel trilogy era still wasn't a bad idea.
Yeah, my buddy's kids love that series. He doesn't get it. Like, but they love Rey and Kylo Ren. Sadly, that's it. I don't see them dressed up as Phasma or anything else, or Finn or Poe. Those two are pretty much the standouts for them.
Yeah.
No Babu Frick cosplay,
No.
Tried. I tried, especially when they were tiny. It's like, can we just?
Well, what's kind of weird about Star Wars is it, in the very nature of existing with modern products coming out and stuff like that, it steps on its own toes. Like if they had kept making Star Wars stuff, I think in 1985 onward, would we be talking about Ewoks? Probably as much as we're talking about Porgs. That's
they
what
did. They made the Endor movies.
No, well, you know what I'm saying though. Like
we don't talk about that.
No, if they had continued making Star Wars films, there wouldn't have been those
theatrical
Ewok films. They wouldn't have done it back then anyway.
The crazier part for me though, before we leave that idea, is that Lucas wasn't spending a little bit of R&D fund having artists just visually develop Star Wars in between those 10 years. He didn't come back. I was thinking about this last night. He didn't come back until he was ready to make some movies. Like, you would think that whole time, why don't you just visually develop everything you could ever want to see when you have those artists alive, right? Like, and you could just keep going over to the new artists and just develop. Even Indiana Jones, just continually paying artists. It's so little. It costs so little to have artists sit in a room and paint and visually develop ideas,
Up front, he lost half of everything to Marshall Lucas, and it was he needed to get the business up and running. But I will say, like, Doug Chiang started working in '94, I believe.
94,
and the movie
didn't come 10 years though.
Yeah, the movie didn't come out until '99, and
they didn't start physical production until '97. So it's a 3-year run.
So he did kind of do that to an extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I still think that the Phantom Menace has the best visual development. I mean, when you look at the paintings and the design of the Nemodians as they existed in the concept art, not in the final cheapo version of the film.
Taz says that Din's name is pronounced Jaren and not DeJaren. And I'm just going to throw it out there that the name is dumb either way, and it set itself up for that.
So it's like Genie. It's like just Jaren. It's a Genie thing. He's in the bottle. He's whatever.
Yeah, I got Jin, motherfucker.
It's fine. No, people call him Mando. They call it Baby Yoda. Even in the own press release, Star Wars was calling Yoda. Filoni was like, "It's little Yoda." He didn't call him Grogu. Like, it's hilarious.
Baby Yoda.
Filoni, it's just, I don't know, man. Their naming is. We won't go there.
It is hilarious that it's somebody named Baby Yoda after their cum. I'm just saying. That's what
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna give you some Mod Grogu.
I was gonna say after Dragon Ball Z, but like, whoo, you got me there. I was gonna call him Gurgle Goo, but they didn't want me to do it. It just turned into Grogu. It was like we was just getting real drunk, and that's where it came from.
Dennis Quaid. Is it Randy Quaid or Dennis Quaid from Vacation?
Randy Quaid.
Randy Quaid's character. Randy Quaid's going to play the Grogu uncle who shows up, and he is.
Well, Salacious Crumb was. Someone said I was stuck in my throat, and it became Salacious Crumb.
Oh, dude, salacious. Salacious.
But it was like someone on set was like,
no. The story is that 3 of the ILM dudes, I think it was like Phil Tippett and friends, maybe, they go out and they're super drunk, and his shoes come untied, and he needs to tie his shoes, and he keeps trying to say shoelaces.
Right, shoelaces.
Salacious.
And it'd be salacious. And so it was, I need to gargle the goo, and it became Grogu. I can see that. Like, okay.
Yeah, yeah, I was talking to somebody about this on Twitter yesterday. I'm just like, I feel like the general, I'm okay with like the basicness of the sequel trilogy names: Rey, Poe, Finn. I know Finn has 4 letters, but essentially 3 letters.
Finn's actually a great name, given the Huckleberry Finn. It's a Mark Twain sort of reference. I mean, but saying,
it's
like,
used in so many things right now. There's that. It's everywhere.
Right.
It's not like it's not unique enough. Like, like Han wouldn't fly today. It'd be like, Hans, what is he, a yodeler?
But
But
Hondo. I mean,
yeah,
Hondo. Findo will be next.
Findo.
Ludo.
Yeah.
Rado.
But no, but like like I think it's terrible to have Cara Dune be from Alderaan. Cara Dune from Alderaan. That just doesn't ring true. It doesn't feel right. And then
The name Cara Dune is pretty Star Warsy though. Like,
the name itself is
I think
fine.
the naming is actually one of the stronger names. I mean, Phasma is a great Star Wars name.
Phasma's a great Star Wars name, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Hux and Finn in the same movie is a bad idea. I'm like, come on, Soy and yours, they're two bounty hunters that team up. It's like, come on, guys, you
JJ
really
JJ like, baby, JJ like.
All right, JJ, who is this is Caulfield and Holden, the two protagonists of the new High Republic series.
They're fighting
Rye. Yeah.
Fonets from
Darth Rye. Oh, Darth Rye. Yeah.
Oh shit. Do I have power? Let me see.
Our new hero, Faye Loney. Faye Loney. Yeah.
Well, we will do the show until I get lower on power. We probably have a couple more minutes. My thing is, so I have this interface right here that like my sound goes into, and I'm able to plug the power USB-C cord into it because these modern Macs only have 2 USB-Cs. And
Taz is right. Snoke is the worst name ever. You got me on that one. It's pretty bad.
Gotta be Snoking me. Yeah. I mean, Star Wars names are really in a lot of ways just really kind of dumb, and they either work or they don't. And
right.
Yeah, but Grogu, it just is not. I'm surprised they let them do that one.
Oh, man, that's
it's not. It's not. Yeah, it's not. It's just not easy. It's laborious to say it, and and when you have a character who you're going to make 15,000 products for, and people are going to be singing it in parades and stuff on Thanksgiving, it should have been much. Minch was the right way to go. Minch was better.
If it wasn't going to be a Y name, because Yaddle, Yoda,
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, Minch, Minch does sound like a derogatory term somehow. I don't know.
Minch, please.
Well, Mensch is, Mensch. I mean, he's the Mensch. I mean, that's,
Oh, I'm gonna touch your Minch.
We was gonna call him Gabagool, but we didn't want to do it.
Grogu.
They wouldn't. Yeah, so we just got the Grogu. It's gonna be Gabagool, the Grogu.
Filoni wanted Groguzi, but I said no.
I wanted Poke, but they wouldn't let me do it.
Yeah. I could see past it, but yeah, I'm never gonna say Din Djarin or Din Djarin or any of that stuff. He's always just gonna be the Mando, because
making Dash Rendar not look so bad now.
Wow, what
in the naming conventions.
Classic name. No.
Dash Rendar. IG-69.
Yeah, I Kira was the original name for Rey on everything that I was seeing for almost 2 years, and I think Kira was the better way to go. And then when they went and then they reused it, because I'm guessing that Kasdan came up with it, which is one of the reasons why it didn't stick, because JJ was like, I want to name her. That's not just a guess, but then he used it in the a Star Wars story script. And they ended up putting it into there, but they did it with a Q, and now people are like, her name is Kira! You're like, no, it's just Kira. Kira! Like, I promise you, it's just Kira!
Kira!
Oh, no, it's just
I have the lightsaber! She just cuts herself in half.
If you watch the movie, he just says Kira. Oh, he just says Kira! No, he says Kira. Yeah, it's like
shouldn't have named Grogu Russell. Have Kurt Russell do the voice. It's Russell. It's Russell. Turns out his name is Russell.
So, I'm rusty. Rusty.
Yeah.
My name is
Gets along with the droids.
Rusty Yaddle Yoda. That's my full name. But yeah, I mean, are we? Grogu was in the Jedi Temple. He was there around Order 66, and somebody smuggles him out.
Don't really know, do we?
No, we
Don't
do.
really know.
No, we know. Ahsoka says it.
Yeah,
And,
is it on film?
Yeah, it's on.
I don't believe anything she says.
Meanwhile,
we cut to it, and she actually threw him in a trash compactor. She didn't want to tell anybody, so she lied. Yeah, he got out.
Oh no, fucking Rob's gone. Not my hashtag. Not my Luke Skywalker. No, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, it is a fair theory that Yoda had a scandal, that he and Yaddle knocked boots and made Grogu. In fact, it's the only Occam's razor theory that makes any fucking sense.
Wait till their next big villain is Occam, and the Imperial razor. Will be
right, like how
clever.
Admiral Grievous, which is so bad it's good. His ship was the Invisible Hand, which, if you don't know, kids, look that up on Wikipedia, and it'll teach you something about Lucas's perspective on capitalism. Even though he's a huge billionaire, maybe the Holdlony Cauffieldians will call him a phone. Or something.
See, I was going to have a twin Sith sisters, Darth Ann and Darth Ran. Yeah.
Taz is all Dash Mando.
I like Dash Mando.
Dash Mando, Space Cop. I would watch that.
I like Dash Mando, man. It's a good one, Taz.
Dash Mando and the Space War. Something like that. I would watch it. But all right. Well, I'm about to run out of battery. So, anyways, what happens is if my kid plays with my computer and then this thing starts from a low battery, it never kicks on with the driver. I'd have to unplug everything and kill the show to get power going. Oh, Mac, that fucking idiot Steve Jobs sure did do you guys a favor or two, because you guys are lost now. I think I'm done with Macs and Apple here in the future. I think if I'm going to deal with this kind of crazy bullshit, I might as well save some money in the process and just buy some other dog shit,
I came to that realization in the year 2000. I tried to buy a Mac, and they wouldn't ship it to an APO when I was in the military. And I was like, really? They're like, nope, can't do it. I'm like, all right. Went right to Dell.
I gave my 2015 Mac to my drummer so he would be on the same platform as me. He never did, because I hate his guts. And he just kept it, and he uses it for work. But every now and then, whenever I do something on it, like for a song I need to fix, my 2015 Mac runs better than my 2019 Mac. Yeah,
I should have named Baby Yoda Yaya. Yeah.
Maybe just maybe just like Chip. Like, hey, I'm Chip. But yeah, it's all fucked up. I'm enjoying DuckTales, by the way. It does a good job of dealing with its own universe,
It does, and it gets better. Like every time I go, man, they won't go past this point. They do. I'm like, wow, I didn't think they would. I'm not saying it's fucking the world's greatest cartoon. It's way better. Remember how you remember? DuckTales was great. It wasn't. It was a nifty premise, but it wasn't a great cartoon. This actually solves it.
Yeah.
Huh?
I still like the original song the best. What do you call that? What do you call that in like old comic books when you get to like those like little dots?
Halftones.
Yeah. They like use that a lot in the design, which is kind of fun.
And they reference the original, the Carl Barks Scrooge comic a lot. So when you see anything to deal with this past and stuff, if you've ever read those comics, you're getting there's a lot of it. It's like getting a little scar on a wall that vaguely takes place in a book you never read. It's like that.
George Lucas collected those,
Yeah.
Original.
Yeah, they're good. I have the first Treasury edition.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Unlike the other Disney comics at the time that were just stupid Mickey adventures, it was an actual series that, you read it now, you go, I don't see what the big deal was. You got to go back to the 50s. No one was doing it. Like, closest was Walt Kelly, but Walt Kelly was doing political satire in a bog. It's not quite the same thing.
Yeah. Also interesting that he was into that and ducks. And then he created Jar Jar Binks.
Look, man, the fact that he didn't get to do DuckTales and the man, what a bummer.
What are the odds of Dave Filoni being a furry? With all that wolf stuff.
Oh, quite good.
I'm a hairless puppy.
They call me hush puppies.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we did an hour 25 on a day we didn't even think we were going to do it, and I'm out of batteries, but we did it.
All right.
It was a good time.
We'll see you all Monday.
Yeah, we'll see you guys Monday. And
Mando Monday.
Mando Mondays, and then we'll be back for what's Tuesday?
Enjoying Hawkeye. I love street level, low key, fun, small, and there's a lot of inside stuff that I find quite interesting. He's out. He's quitting. Show's done. You just get me now.
I'm slowing down.
I'm here.
I'm now.
Rob's still, yeah.
Running out of power. I'm running.
Everybody, I present to you Mac versus PC. Mac versus PC. Just saying. Just saying.
It's not about spaceships.
Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show.
It's not about spaceships.